Distracted driving is dangerous. Florida is cracking down on distracted driving with a no texting and driving law. And here to explain the law is Lieutenant Kim Montez from the Florida Highway Patrol. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, there's a lot of confusion around this new law. And I'd like for you to break it down for us because I know that there was one version of it passed in 2013, but a lot of people aren't sure what they can do with this one, what they can't. So would you please explain?
Yeah, so Governor DeSantis did pass our Wireless Communication Act, which now makes texting and driving a primary offense. So as of July 1st, it is against the law to text and drive. It's a primary offense, which means that if an officer looks into a vehicle and sees a driver inputting into a wireless device, typing into a phone, typing into another wireless device, they can be stopped simply for that violation. In 2013, the law was passed. It was a secondary violation. You had to commit a traffic infraction, run a stop sign, make an improper lane change. Then if the officer also observed you typing into a device, you could be issued a ticket. It's a non-moving violation. There's no points on your license. That will remain the same. The fine is a minimum of $30 in each county, but fines and fees are added to it, so it's going to probably be over $100 in each of the counties. Okay. So what the law says now is that if you are driving in your vehicle, you cannot be typing into any handheld device. Can you still hold your phone? Absolutely. You can hold the phone, you can talk to somebody, you can look for a GPS, but you cannot type into a device while the car is in motion. If you are observed by an officer while the car is in motion, typing into a device, you can be stopped and issued a ticket for that alone. Now, what an officer cannot do, an officer cannot, when they stop you, ask you for your phone.
I'm glad you said that.
A lot of people are concerned about that. So you're not required to hand over your phone. Now, some people may want to say, hey, I was doing this, I can show you what I'm doing. But an officer can't ask you for that phone. Okay. The only time law enforcement can really look at your phone is if you're involved in a fatal crash. We would have to get a subpoena, go through a judge, and then get your cell phone records. Okay. But that's down the road. That's not taking your phone at the scene. Okay. So for drivers, we want them to realize the real dangers of being distracted behind the wheel. And obviously there's all kinds of distractions, but the cell phone use has become such a big thing. If you're traveling 55 miles an hour and you look down at your phone for 3 seconds, you've traveled the length of a football field with your eyes off the road. Wow. And so much can go wrong in that time. So another part of the Wireless Communications Act, in October, the law will start where if you are in a school zone, or if you're in an active work zone, a construction zone with workers present, you cannot hold the phone in your hand. Okay. You can still be on the phone, wireless or hands-free, but you cannot actually hold the phone in your hand. That is a primary stop also, where if an officer observes you on the phone, holding a device in a school zone or in a work zone, they can stop you simply for that. Okay. Now, from July 1st all the way to December 31st, officers will be writing warnings. We want to use that 6-month period as an educational component. Okay. Even though we've had a texting ban on driving since 2013, now that it's a primary law, we want to give people enough time to get used to it. We really hope that people have been putting the phone down, but just in case not, 6 months of warnings, and then come January 1st, 2020, we will be able to start issuing tickets. Okay. And is there a place where people should go or to find out, to get clarity, because that's a lot? It is a lot of information. So the Florida Highway and Safety Motor Vehicles, along with Department of Transportation, will be putting together some educational material, some public service announcements so that officers can educate these drivers in the next 6 months. But if you go to flhsmv.gov, there will be information on that website starting July 1st about the law and all the components of the law.
Whew. Well, thank you so much for breaking that down because I even had some gray myself, but I know a lot of, what are you seeing on the road as we wrap up? Does it seem like it's getting any better?
No, unfortunately, it does seem like it's getting worse. It's not just a teenager problem. We have older people texting and driving. And remember, when the car is in motion is when you can be stopped. So if you're at a traffic light, while we don't encourage you to look at your phone and type into your device at a traffic light, because obviously you take your eyes off the road, the light turns green, you're not ready to go. The car has to be in motion before officer can stop you. We want to decrease our distracted driving crashes and fatalities. We know that there's so many out there, and we've actually found phones in the hands of people who have died in crashes.
Wow.
We want to reduce these, and this is how this law can do this.
Lieutenant Kim Montez, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Remember, when you get behind the wheel, be sure to obey the law. Do not text and drive. We want you to stay safe behind the wheel.